We're live. I think my cameras are all messed up, but we're live.
Woo.
They're fixed. Okay, it wouldn't be a normal stream without some tech shit, right?
No, of course not.
No, that effect was cool. You just brought us up from the bottom to
Right.
show everybody. Nice work.
My power!
Totally planned.
So...
No, I just thought that MK was DMing today, so that's all. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm down for that.
if you really want to, I'm no issue with that. When we talked about a holiday stream, I mean, if somebody else was born, I ain't gonna complain. I don't mind playing a character once in a while. Just imagine it'd be like a bunch of talking lemon people or something now. No, an MK.
That'd be it. That'd
See,
be
I
exactly
could
what it
run a
would be.
game with talking lemon
Read
people.
your mind.
Unacceptable!
It's the ninja bullet run.
So, yeah, we're back for another week. Another hour earlier. I think we'll just cut right into like what happened last week. We can do all our little formalities at the end because I think we're just wasting time doing that personally. So, who wants to be the lucky person that kind of tells everybody out there what exactly happened last week?
Fucking Oni.
Oni, yeah.
God
Big
damn
ass
it,
fucking Oni. Flame Strike was clutch.
Yeah.
So you guys were outside cave trying to get it down into the underdark passages that Caitlana had instructed you could reach by traversing this cave. I think Gaul was the first one to enter it and got to hear some funky noises.
Gaul's always the first to enter.
Yeah, he heard child laughter, and the deeper that he pressed into it, oh, thank you, Legion. I might take you up on that, actually. I wouldn't mind having somebody DM me for a change. Where was I? Oh, yeah. And the further he got into this cave, the laughter was giving more of an impression upon him, giving him the idea that maybe he needed to flee this location. But as all good heroes are, they are stupid and decided to go further anyway. So,
Emphasis on stupid, not on hero.
Right. Whatever you feel is appropriate for this. But you all pressed further in and found a little abandoned camp, a mining camp that was inhabited by a few ogres and a small girl who seemed to be leading a rebellion. So you guys ended up engaging in battle with them to find out that this girl was not exactly just a normal run-of-the-mill girl, but in fact an Oni in disguise.
Or a girl at all, really.
Yeah.
We
Oni
should have just left it there. We killed a small girl for no reason.
Yeah, true.
You know?
I mean, that's
She
on
wasn't-
brand.
Yeah.
Is that just a step up from dead baby jokes? Like, is it just
That's-
slightly?
Pretty close.
That's the prelude to the big.
Women and children hide. Here comes the heroes.
Yeah. I kind of feel like you have to work backwards. I don't think you can lead with the dead baby joke. I think you have to build a way down
Yeah.
into it. So.
Okay, so it's in reverse. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's going to be a gradual lowering of
Understood.
expectations till you hit their baby jokes.
I'm sure there's a Reddit thread out there somewhere that covers all of this, and you guys are welcome to
Just
look
the
at it.
whole spectrum.
So you guys descended down past after the very vicious battle. I believe it was pretty rough on y'all, but you all managed to survive and lead down into the night below, where you came across the sunless sea, sitting on the shorelines of it, and had a little talk with Caitlana how you're going to actually progress through this area. And she gave that you could follow the stalactites. I think I used the right one this time. And
They
Yes.
hang down like tights.
use that as almost a like stars on a sea where you could navigate this. But we will start there where put this over on the map to where you all are on the shoreline. Gaul, you've taken a taste of this water to see to define what sort of salinity it has, and it did have a taste of seawater.
Salty.
Right. The taste lingers on your tongue even after you've returned back and you've all had your little discussions. Your little spat between, I think it was Zan and Caitlana. And you feel sort of sick to your stomach at this point. It feels like perhaps the water isn't exactly like agreeing with you right now. Your insides feel a little twisted.
Oh, God.
You're right there, Cole?
No, yes. Fine, it's
Okay.
not a problem.
But you started with a nuh.
Well,
I'm just going to point that out.
It's been a long day. It's
And
fine.
that there was a bit of a question mark at the end of that, so
It's fine. We're fine. There's no problem.
Remember, we're about to be on a very confined space for an extended period of time.
Well, it's fine. We can use nature's toilet.
Do you really want to chum the water, as it were?
At some point, we're all gonna have to.
All right.
Ask Arthur. He knows.
Arthur?
Am I a part of this
Arthur
conversation?
is a gentleman. He's not going to be discussing his ship bathroom habits.
I think that this water isn't right.
Based on.
The way you reacted after you put.
I'm
some in
fine.
your
I'm
mouth.
fine. I'm fine.
He put that in his mouth?
Only a tiny bit.
Go!
Just
Go!
he wanted to see whether it was salt or fresh water.
It's definitely salty,
Good to know.
and now we know that.
Yes. Yes, we do.
All right, Gall, as you're talking, you feel your stomach clench.
Oh God.
Go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, here we fucking go.
Oh no. Oh no.
This is what I get for telling him what I picked when I leveled up.
This is what you get for putting things in your mouth.
That tastes salty.
18. Okay,
18.
you feel the urge to purge. You begin to
The urge to purge.
yeah, it's you feel your stomach tighten, and you feel your stomach trying to push this whatever is in your the substances out of your stomach.
I'll wade waist deep into the water and start pulling the boat out.
Okay.
Oh god.
You managed to hold
For those
back.
of you just joining us, welcome to
Purging with Gull. So you drive into the water.
Which orifice is he purging from? That's what I want to know. Walking in the water.
We will find out. All of them.
God, could
maybe
be
this is
every
a
hole.
swirly whirly.
Okay, so you start pulling
Swirly whirly.
the boat closer to shore, and you do feel finally the need to expel, and you throw up the contents of your stomach into the waters.
Oh, it came up the top.
Oh jeez. Oh, do I have anything to help this? Ooh.
I'm going to get in the boat,
Okay.
and then with
Good
one
plan.
hand, I'm going to grab Gull and just pull him into the boat right next to me.
Don't make me throw up in the boat, dude.
Don't make him throw up in the boat.
Facing away from me.
You're going to throw up from the
No,
boat,
it's
not
gonna be
into the
a
boat.
pick
from
up.
the boat.
I'll pick him up. I'm going to put him, and I am going to see if any of my healing actions can help this.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So I will lay on hands and use 5 points to cure these, I believe it is,
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep making puke noises till stuff
or
stops.
poison.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, keep going.
Okay. So
And then
I
faster.
really hope
Yeah,
no
so
one watching
I'm gonna
is like one of those
use-
people that hears that and they get it too.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to use 5 of my 50
Sorry,
lay on of
sorry.
hands to cure a disease or neutralize poison.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
sure.
Arthur, I'm fine.
Gull, do you let him touch you?
I don't think I have a choice. At this
Well, I mean,
point.
you do, but it's up
Yeah,
to you.
yeah. I'll
Okay.
let Arthur touch me. It's
So
fine.
Arthur places a hand upon you, and a warmth begins to fill you from the point where he touches, and just sort of spiders through your whole being. You no longer feel the need to retch.
Yay.
Woohoo.
Thanks, Arthur. It was
I'm
fine
just
though.
gonna-
I think I was done. But it's fine. Thank you.
Just whispering in his ear, stop doing stupid things.
This whole thing
And I'll
is
just
stupid.
just walk back or kind of scooch back in the middle of the boat. Let him be at the front where he likes to be. You
I
know,
killed
like those-
3 giants yesterday.
Is that what you're saying to me right now?
I get to do a stupid thing today.
It was yesterday.
Yeah.
I was supposed to say, was it yesterday? Yes, it was yesterday.
You guys,
I've filled my hero quota. Now it's stupid quota time.
you guys did
People
take a
only
long rest
remember what
anyway.
you did last.
You guys took a long
And I'll
rest
just-
last time, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We slept.
We did, yeah.
Arthur just shakes his head at Gull and goes back to the middle of the boat and looks for some oars.
Alrighty.
All right.
You do find a couple
let's
oars
get-
laying down inside the boat itself.
Is this a boat where one person can row it, or does it require two?
One person could row it, yes.
Arthur will take the rowing
We were
spot.
talking about this last time. I've got proficiency in water vehicles.
Indeed.
Hey, there you go.
I do not, apparently. I know nothing of these boats you speak of.
The boat is.
Wait, what?
Boat?
How does this thing float?
Yeah, that can't be.
This is some strange magic.
So I will use my insight to learn how to row. No, I will. Yeah, but I'll take the oars and I'll go ahead.
Roll a history
I'm
check.
sure.
No, okay.
Yeah.
So you all clamber onto this
37.
boat. Yes. You all clamber onto this boat.
Yep.
Who's pushing it out?
I'll push it out.
Okay.
Well, you dragged
already
it out,
started,
right?
so-
And then I started rowing.
Okay. So you are pushed offshore and begin to go into the sunless sea. With Kate Lana guiding you, you begin to push further and further from shore as it begins to the light from the fungus, the luminescent fungus, begins to fade behind you, or gets smaller, I should say. Let's see. Why don't you everybody give me perception checks while we're here?
Sure. Probably a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Looking at things.
Natural
Maybe.
Nice.
It is.
7.
Excellent, excellent.
I got a natural 1. My eyes are closed.
Awesome.
In and out across the spectrum. It's good. It's good.
Nice.
Do you
And
want me to
callously-
roll for pebbles?
17.
Seth?
Yeah, you can roll for pebbles if you want. 17. Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad pebbles. Not bad.
Kate, Lana, and Rufus both got below a 5, so
Pebbles got a 19.
19. Okay, so we have Pebbles, we have Zan, and Califrus. You guys are sort of looking over, at the water's surface. I think Arthur's probably just too busy just rowing this boat here to really pay much attention to what else he's doing. And
I'm like wiping a bit of
yeah,
puke off my
Gall's just sort of
shirt.
like
Like,
right now.
Just another night at the bar for him.
As you
Yeah, I'll just like with one finger prestidigitation.
so you lean
Then
back
prestidigitation
and,
by my fingers.
you lean back and cast a spell upon Gaul, who instantly becomes cleaner. And you sort of, as you're leaning back and you get a closer look at the water, it's wild that it's not moving except for where the oars have penetrated the water itself. You do see that just from the slight glow from the fungus that's all around this cave, you see a little bit of what looks like a film almost on top of the water itself, like oil at this point. Not something that you saw closer to shore, but the further out you get, you see the more prevalent it is.
Katlana, what is that film on the surface of the water?
She leans down and looks down at it. And I'll have her do a history check. And that's a 1.
I don't know.
She says, I have not seen this before.
Aren't you our expert guide?
Would I be able to roll for something
Sure,
weird before?
sure. This could be a very high DC, just so you know.
That's fine. What am I rolling? History, Arcana.
I think in
Nature.
this case, I want you to give me an Arcana.
Okay. I'm good at that. Okay. That'll be a 26.
26, okay. You think about back to where the dragon was before, how you realized that the very nature of the woods and of the land itself had undergone a change just being in the presence of this creature. You begin to liken the effects of the environment around you now similar to a situation like that. It appears that something has prevailed or taken control of this area. Not sure what, but it has a very distinct likeness to that.
I believe we've just entered something's lair.
Oh, good. And on a scale of 1 to balls, how high is Gall tasting the water?
What is that?
On a scale of 1 to balls, how
Okay.
high is Gall?
How high is Gaul?
Yeah.
You are fine.
Okay.
You have all the capacities, the mental capacities that you have.
I thought you meant our situation. I was about to say our situation is probably at least one bowl. And say that we're at one bowl, not the full 2.
Not full balls deep yet, but
We're not at full double bowl situation
one shriveled,
yet.
like steroided up ball at this point.
Just the one. Just the one.
we're in one right nut of trouble.
Yeah, probably no trouble. That is going to be a new saying.
Arthur looks around the boat. Arthur looks around the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Don't touch the water. And with a slow glance over towards Gaul, and don't drink the water. And I'll continue to row.
Don't tell me twice.
Nobody's
Just
like
once.
going to break into like a Dave Matthews song or anything right now, are they?
No.
Okay, good. So you're going to continue on. So your oars begin to
High alert.
pierce this oily surfaced water. It feels like you've gone almost forever at this point. It's been like a half hour of straight rowing, and you don't see any sign of getting even close to a coast at this point. The sheer immenseness of the sea is becoming slightly overwhelming at this point. To the point where if you were overboard, you would question whether you would make it back or not.
Been there.
You have been there. Alrighty. Let's do something fun.
Oh god.
Fun for you or fun for us?
It's
Say, I question your
wonderful
Your
for
fun is
me.
bad, Seth. Your fun is
wonderful
bad.
for me.
Your fun is wrong.
Actually, I need to do something before we even get into this. I was doing the playback on last stream, and we'd actually received another divine favor during the break. And
Oh.
that was never assigned.
Nice.
By the way, y'all, I was going to die, so thank you.
And as far as I can remember, the only person who hasn't received a divine favor would be Chris. So, Chris, why don't you go and give me a D6, and we'll go and assign this before we get too much further into this.
6, you say. Cool. 4.
A 4. Oh, nice. You have received the boon of a critical hit.
Yes.
So you have a nat 20 that you can be used on any attack roll.
Wow,
Nice.
I like it.
Nice.
Perfect person for that to
Yep.
go to.
Yes, please.
That, like you didn't use one against an ogre last game.
Use a bigger pointy
you know.
thing with that one.
Yeah.
Alrighty. The
High
lucky
stone
number
cover.
is 1. So, I think it's actually appropriate. Arthur, why don't you going to give me an insight check?
Insight
And then I will-
+8.
I will explain what this happens.
21.
21.
Nice,
Arthur,
nice.
you're rowing along, and you have a feeling of uneasiness begin to wash over you. First, you liken it to the situation, to where you're at, the quest ahead, to the things that you've been through. And then that last part sort of steals into your mind. The things you've been through. The uneasiness begins to settle even further into you, as you have a very similar feeling to a point where you had laid down one night not long ago and had a terrible dream. And the feelings that welled up from that dream seem to be welling up in you now, currently in the reality of the world. You feel something might have made a connection with you since you've entered this domain.
So these are these are feelings very similar to the dream I have. They are creating similar feelings.
Yes, they are.
I will just sternly, with a thinking, stern look,
Mm-hmm.
turn, to my party mates, to my, compatriots. I don't like it. Something wicked this way cometh. And I continue to row.
Okay.
That's a very odd thing to say, Arthur.
That was extremely and ominous. What the hell is that about? What did you mean?
Continues to row.
Okay. So you plunge the oars back into the water. Moving further, you can feel almost goosebumps starting to prevail in your flesh. The feeling growing more ominous the further you push forward from the shore.
I'm gonna drop the oars. Obviously not in the water.
Okay, I was going to ask.
No, but I'm gonna on rope.
It's like,
Well, anyways, on rowboats, you can pull the oar in, and
Yep.
you just kind of.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop the oars. I'm gonna pull them in,
okay.
and sitting with just reflecting and thinking. You see Arthur pull his arms in. He puts his arms on his knees, and he looks left, and he's looking right.
Arthur?
A look of just fear and a little bit of panic on his face here as he contemplates what's about to happen. He thinks what's about to happen.
Okay.
Okay. We probably shouldn't just sit here. So, do you want me to take over, Arthur?
I'll scoot back without saying a word.
I'll start rowing and let Zan deal with
You
whatever the hell
notice-
is going on.
And you'll notice that Arthur is gripping. He's picked up his shield and he's put it on his lap and he's gripping it tightly to where you can see his muscles in his arms are flexing. He's anticipating,
Oh,
anxious, all those things.
lied up to Arthur. Arthur, what's wrong?
I
you
believe something
sense
more
something?
wicked. I believe something more wicked. Even what we face at the moat house. It's something we're going to face soon. Something that knows me. Personally.
Arthur, as those last words escape your lips and as Zane is sort of looking at you in confusion, the shield in your lap suddenly starts to glow. And it glows to the point where it's almost hard to look at, but as the glow itself fades, you see etched into the surface of it 3 large eyes staring back at you. Similar to ones that you remember from your dream, as if you've communed with your shield and it has taken part of this
Nice.
memory and placed the enchantment onto the shield itself.
Nice. That's Christina.
I'm-
Sorry. What happened?
Arthur is almost slack-jawed, just staring, and I'll take the shield in both hands and kind of set it down, and with his hand he's kind of feeling and touching, trying to, although he knows he won't truly understand what just happened, he knows what those eyes are. And with trembling hands, he just takes his shield and he puts it up and he looks at it. And then spits on the front of it. And puts it back on his arm and puts it back on his lap.
All right.
Does somebody want to tell me what's going on? because I just saw a big light from behind me, and I don't know what that's all about. I'm rowing to see me rowing.
I think we may be facing something that Arthur may have seen in dream before.
Should we keep the lights off, please?
Possibly. Arthur's better prepared to defend himself now, however. I believe, if I recall what that shield specializes in.
Aye.
So we're fine. Let's continue.
So
But
Arthur is
eyes
sitting
open.
just bolt upright, eyes open, shield in hand, trident laying down on the starboard side of the boat.
Okay.
And we'll just, man, we're just watchful right now.
yeah. I'll go ahead and place a hand on Arthur's shoulder and look at him, and we're fine. Eyes open.
Aye.
What is Caliphus doing now?
Cal is just like being ready, kind of
Nervous.
With a quizzical brow.
Yes, yes. Caliphus makes sure that his eyebrows are beautiful, and then he just kind of like sits there and is like, "Oh man."
Okay. Okay, so you all steel yourselves. Gaul, you pull this boat further and further across the sea. And Arthur, why don't you go and give me a wisdom saving throw?
Well, that's one of my better ones. Fantastic. I get a plus 11.
Nice.
And that'll be a 24.
Okay. As you're sitting there, steely and ready to go, you feel a sudden urge, compulsion in you well up, telling you to stand. You wince, fight against it, and manage to break off whatever had tried to invade you. Muscles tighten.
Something just tried to direct me to stand?
Yes.
I'll look at Zan. Did you feel that?
No. What did you feel?
Some power is trying to compel me to stand. Look up. Be advised. Be aware. There's something here. Gull. There's something here.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep rowing. You
Okay.
tell me if you see it.
Go.
Oh,
Why don't you go and give me a wisdom saving throw?
oh God, this won't go as well.
You will get Arthur's bonus to that too. I
Oh yeah,
believe.
+3.
Yeah, plus 3.
Thank God for that. That's 7.
7. Okay. So you're rowing along, and you just stop. The boat lurches to a halt, and you just lift your
Call what's wrong.
hands. Lift your hands and open them slowly as the oars drop off the sides and begin to float.
Can we grab them?
You have to give me some athletics or acrobatics checks.
Or alternatively, Cal can just step out the boat because I have a ring of water walking,
You could.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
I will try to grab one of them. I'll do.
and I'll grab the opposite one.
Okay.
Am I like lucid or have I just gone?
You're. You know what where you're at. You know what you're doing. You just had the compulsion to let go.
Cool.
I immediately
17.
come to Gull. I immediately go to his back and put my hand on his shoulder hard.
Okay. 17. And you're stepping off the boat, Caliphus?
Sign up.
Yeah, I also wrote in what is it, acrobatics?
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay? So I rolled 14, 15, 16. I rolled a 17 in acrobatics.
Okay. So Zan,
I'll be real good at walking on water.
you reach over the boat, leaning. Finally, wrap your hands around the oar. Caliphus, you step onto the water and deftly snatch it up. And the instant that you two have parted from the boat, there is a sudden lurch as something smacks the bottom of the boat.
Oh shit!
And it lurches to one side that Zan is currently leaning over. With the gravity of her weight against the side of it, it begins to tip.
I don't weigh that much. I don't weigh that much.
I'll even it
I'm
out.
a very small woman.
I'll do my best to even it out.
Yeah, like throw my weight to the other side.
All right.
Cal's gonna grab onto the boat and try and pull it back.
All right. Let's just go ahead and do one group athletics for this case. One person roll, and we'll give you advantage.
Not
Don't
me.
have Arthur do it. No, I
Not
might.
the best athletics.
No.
I'm at +1.
How come we're all bad?
You may
at this?
have better than
Really?
all of us.
Okay, let's do
Yeah,
it then.
My athletics is a -1.
Ooh, okay, then goal it is. At advantage, that's a 16.
18?
16.
Oh, 16.
At advantage.
Okay, cool. Sorry, let me check this real quick. Okay. You do your best to try to keep the boat from toppling, but with the weight and whatever is got a hold of this, it just seems to tip it completely over.
Well, shit.
And you all go splashing into the water.
I'm ready. Trident and shield in hand, I was ready for this.
Thanks for your help, Rufus.
Is Cal still standing on the surface? Can I
You
still
are.
hear?
And
Okay.
actually,
Ha, wet nerds.
what is your what is your armor class there, Cal?
14.
14. Okay.
Mhm.
You just sort of like watch wide-eyed as you let go finally, because the force of it's just too much. Your fingers whiten and knuckles, and you finally have to let go. And before you, this massive tendril just snakes out of the water and snatches up around you and drags you down.
Oh, shit.
Oh no, my life. Okay.
Can you play a sea shanty?
Let me find the
Under
pirate
that
one.
sea.
To Davy Jones Locker with you.
You all descend into this water, and it begins to just start forcing its way down your throats.
Oh, fuck.
The sickness instantly
Not me.
coming over top of you. To Roseanne.
I can hold my breath indefinitely.
You all descend down. It would feel as if normally you should be able to float fine. Yeah, except maybe for Arthur, who I think's got some armor on, but you
A little bit of chain.
right, but you feel all of a sudden these things whipping around the waters around you, circling it up, snapping around your limbs and dragging you down.
Well, anything that has limbs, I'm stabbing.
Okay.
If I can, while I'm going down.
So Arthur, you begin to draw back this trident and plunge it towards whatever's got a hold of you.
Absolutely.
And let me make some rolls here. There's 4 of you. Okay. You reach back to plunge your trident into it, and suddenly don't feel the need to do so any longer. You all sort of are fighting against this water, and you have this compulsion that it's just time to give up. Before you realize it, the world that was barely illuminated above you is now sunken to black.
No.
And that's the end of the campaign, folks. Thanks for coming.
And that's the end
Well,
of
no, nice for playing. See you guys later.
So thanks
Bye.
everybody for coming to see the Temple on the Needle. We'll be back
Bye.
next season. No,
Where we learn to swim.
what we're going to do now, I want each of you to roll me a d4.
Oh, God.
Okay.
4.
4 as well.
2.
2 as well.
Why don't we just go ahead and go, Chris, roll me a d4.
4.
Okay. Zan, you got the 2.
2.
All right. Between Arthur and Calathris, one of you pick one pick 3, and I don't care which one it is.
I'll go with 3.
Gotcha. So we're going to Arthur first. All right, Arthur. Let me go ahead and I'll just change the music just a little bit
Oh boy.
to reflect.
Is it a funeral song?
Play me a dirge, laddie.
You harken back to that funeral dirge that Cal was playing just a day ago.
All right. So Arthur, you've drawn back this trident, hoping to strike back whatever has grabbed hold of you. The urge just releasing from your body. And the water just begins to consume your whole frame. It embraces you into its depths and its being, and there's just inky blackness blanketing you, buffeting your flesh from all sides. But before you realize it, the blackness has ceased. And now, instead of the water buffeting you, you feel cool winds buffeting your flesh. And there's warm sands crushing between your toes. Your hands are small, like a child's, but you find yourself just resting this hand in some figure that's booming over top of you. It's silhouetted against the sun, and you cannot make out what it is whatsoever. But suddenly your eyes dart to the edge of the coastline, and upon the side of the shore, man, Sally saw seashells by the seashore. You see a figure of your father, and it has his hands interlocked behind his head, and they're buried in these locks of dark hair, and his eyes looking upon you just feverishly as he's knelt or kneeling down into these white sands. Your eyes decide to turn back to your hand, and what you see is this inky flesh squeezing your digits tightly. It's a flesh that's as slick with this oily film. It's like holding a membrane of mucus. It's gaunt, it's haunting, it's looking down upon you, and set its head are 3 large orbs that make up its eyes. Your heart clenches. Your chest drops. You have this inaudible gasp that just happens to escape it. And from, like before, from everywhere, from nowhere, you feel the sound reverberating inside you. You look back to the shore, and you see Gaul sitting next to your father now. Him too, with his hands pressed behind his head. Hair's dangling in slick curls around his face that seem to be moistened from the ocean air itself. His face is all marred with bloody cuts and swollen bruises, and he looks worse for wear. This figure looks down upon you and says, "Choose."
Choose what?
It reaches its free hand out towards the 2 figures now kneeling on the beach. Which one dies?
What is this game we're playing? This can't be real.
It's simple. You choose, one dies.
Arthur will sprint towards the 2 if he can. They're kneeling in the sand with their hands behind their head. Arthur sprints. He's trying to see if maybe there's somebody he can attack, somebody he can fight that will stop. If there's an executioner, can he throw his trident? Can he throw his spear? Can he stop whatever's happening?
Okay. You try to break free of this grasp, and it holds strong. You find your feet just digging into the sand itself. But you do look to your side, and you do see a long knife pressed against your hip. Grabbing it, I'm assuming quickly, you begin to jet it up towards this creature. Before you realize it, your father is standing on his feet and is between you and the creature, and you feel the blade sink into the flesh. And your father stands there wide-eyed, gaping mouth, his essence running from the cut around your hands.
With everything I have, I'm trying to get to him. Every part of my being, even knowing that this can't be real, knowing that how old I am and how old he is, but I'm not fully disbelieving.
Gotcha.
I'm clawing, trying to make it, trying to save him. I know I can heal him. If I can get to him, I can heal him.
Right.
If I can get to him, if I can reach my hand out, if I can just fucking touch him one time.
You drop the bloody dagger from your hand, and your hand's still slick with the blood of your father. You press it against him and try to force all this healing that you know you can do into his skin, but it doesn't come. Nothing beckons to your call. There's no power that's illuminated from your very touch that you're used to. Your hand just starts to sink through him, as if an image that was never there to begin with, through water almost. Before you realize it, you're looking over the edge of a boat, and your hand is in the water, just furiously searching for your father. You try as hard as you can, but nothing seems to be. Your fingers aren't grabbing at anything. But finally, you grab hold of a wrist, and you begin to tear it up from this foamy, hoary water. And you see your father's face finally break the surface, and he's gasping for air, and his hair's drenched and pushed back against his face, and you manage to just drag him on the side of this boat that you're now standing upon. He lands with a thud on the wood and the planks and begins to just cough up this mess of water. What do you do?
I hug him.
You lean down to grab the man, straighten him up, and you wrap your arms around him. And together in unison, you both stand. And he returns your embrace. And before you realize it, there's this peal of laughter across the horizon, like thunder over top of the oceans. And before you know it, he has pushed back from you, and he has launched you back into the water itself. You hear, as the water begins to envelop across you, you were meant to die here. It chortles. You can hear it even under the water, this laughter just peeling across the water itself. You feel the waves sucking you down, 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 down into the water. And before you, like many times you've seen now, the eyes appear, large, gaping, watching you. But Arthur, you're not a boy anymore. You're not afraid. You take this trident, you just slam it into this eye, and the water begins to fill with a visual purple, like ink across paper, just floating. And the eye descends back from you, the large growl of pain and anger. And before you realize it, you feel strong arms grab around your waist and start to tug you violently back away from the scene. You just see it just fade almost instantly. You find yourself on that beach once more. You can see the white locks of hair dangling in front of your eyes. You sort of sigh and press your side into the sand. You can feel the little bits of dust sticking to your wet cheek. And before you, this figure of brilliant illuminance, so hard that you can't even look at it. You have to avert your eyes, feeling that they might burn through your skull, stands over top of you. You sit there and you gag up the salty water from your lungs. And you feel a hand rest upon your arm. And for one time in a long, long time, ever since you were a kid, you finally feel peace. It leans down to your ear and says, "Vengeance is yours, Arthur. You need only take it."
I'll sit up, coming out of the sand, and pull myself up, trident shield, almost stumbling with everything that has happened in the last moments. I'm gonna pull myself up, and I'm gonna stand up tall, and I'm gonna stand up strong.
Okay. So you stand, gather your nerves, steel them. And even against this, what would probably be a frightful presence to most people, you stand strong against this power that's standing before you. And finally you look upon it, and the light seems to fade away from its face. And you see your father's face in its stead. And a hand rests upon your shoulder. "I am proud of you. You were the man I was never able to be."
With that, Arthur will once again embrace him if he can.
Okay.
Knowing that this is probably the last time, or thinking this will be the last time I'll ever see him in a form I can touch.
Okay.
And I drop my trident. Arthur drops his trident and his shield, and just hugs him, and holds him,
So there's that
and
sound.
doesn't let go.
There's that sound of the metal as it hits the ground, and you wrap your arms around your father for what you feel is the last time. And there's a warmth, and there is love and peace that fills you entirely. And the world fades around you to black once more. Zan,
Yes.
when you next open your eyes, you feel oppression all around you. Something has caught you. Looking, scanning your environment, you don't recognize the location, but you recognize steel bars. Bars meant for an animal, but you are inside of it. And looking off to one side of it, you actually see almost a reflection of yourself. The similar features, the eyes and the hair. You hear chanting in halls long past where you can see, down doorways and tunnels. And you just feel fear permeating you from every direction. And you finally look back to the figure and you realize who this person is. And it's not you. No, this couldn't be you. And your sister, Mahara, looks upon you. And she's clutching her knees to her chest, and she's frightened. She's so frightened. Because you both know what's about to come.
Yeah. Can I go to her?
You can.
Oh, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. As soon as they open the door, we're gonna get out. We're gonna get out and we're gonna run, okay? Just hold my hand and we're gonna run, okay?
She nods. She grabs your hand tightly. Even with the blue flesh, you can see her knuckles whiten just from the strain of how tightly she's holding on to you. As if she's holding on to her very life at an instant. And tears welling up at the corner of her eyes. Xanthus, I love you.
We're gonna be okay. Talk to me.
And as that fear and that terror overwhelms the both of you, you see two figures suddenly rush into the room, grabbing hold of the bars. You recognize your father and your mother. And your father grabs hold of the lock upon it, and you see like this blast of power just disintegrating the lock upon it, and he throws the doors open. And he looks to both of you. Run, children, run! Run while you can.
But Baba, come with us. Let's go. Let's run, please.
He grabs a hold of you, dragging you out of that cage, and starts to shove you in a direction.
I'm not letting go. Haha, I've got her hand.
So, I guess essentially he drags both of you out there at the same time, pushing you in towards one of the doorways. And you see your mother turn their back as voices come closer. She looks back to your father. Dear, we don't have time. He nods and sighs and leans down to you. Leans down to both of you, putting his hands on your respective cheeks.
Baba?
Everything will be all right. Just go. We'll find you. Zan, Mahara, we love you very much. But you have to go. Now.
I pull Haha and we run.
Grab hold of your sister, leading her on, running. Footfalls echoing down the hallway, and behind you, all you hear is just an arcane mess of explosions and shrieks of terror. And as much as you don't want to admit it to yourself, you know you're not going to see them ever again. You run down this hallway. It becomes a tunnel of just inky blackness. You can feel your sister's hand. The only thing that's giving you any sort of comfort is that she's still behind you. And it seems you run forever. Until finally you feel fingers slip from your grasp.
I turn around to her.
You turn around and you're greeted with this wall. It's just like black marble. And you turn and look to your left and to your right and all around you. And it's like a black marble room. Directly behind you, you see two doors. Both made of wood, simple, with handles. But upon one of the doors, you see sort of painted on the surface an image of your sister. And she's reaching out towards you in fear. And the other, you see an image of your parents in their last moments looking at you. But other than that, there's nothing else in this room. Just these two doors. What do you do?
There's nothing else around.
No.
I'll look at myself. Am I still a child? Am I myself again?
You are yourself.
What the fuck do you want?
And your voice echoes in the room. You only answer yourself.
Get out of my fucking head and let me out of here!
Well, the empty abyss of silence answers you back.
They're all dead. It doesn't matter.
No response.
Fuck you. I'll go through the door with haha on it.
Okay. You open the door and stepping through. You hear it shut behind you. And again, another chamber. You look behind you and the door is gone. But across from you, 2 more doors. One, again, with your sister upon it. And the look on her face is something that has been burned into your memory for as long as you can remember. It was that day that you decided to take on your powers. In the door opposite her, you see a white tiger, fearsome and powerful. What do you do?
Some test, huh? You're with a tiger.
Okay. The door opens easily. As fate has said it, this is what you've chosen. You step through it. And again, it slams behind you in another chamber, just like the one you've entered twice before now. Except this time, you see the white tiger on one door, powerful. And on the other, you see, painted on the surface, you see Arthur, you see Gaul, you see Caliphus, you see Rufus, you see a line of people that you've helped through all the years. All painted on this door, smiling, with open hands awaiting you. Which door do you choose?
I couldn't have helped them without the power. What do you want me to say?
And cry to the air. What do you choose, Sam?
I choose my friends.
Okay. And almost as if they're reaching out to you, you in turn reach out to them, take the handle, and throw the door open and step through it. And once again, a chamber much like the ones you've entered before. This time, you see your friends smiling at your choice on one door. And you see your sister on the other. Her flesh is sunken. Her eyes are pale, wet with tears. Who do you choose?
Hand just curls into a ball on the floor.
Curl, closing your eyes from all this madness, from all this choice. Tears welling up in your eyes, running down your cheeks, warm, wet. And you sit there for what seems like an eternity. And you finally feel warm hands pressed into yours, urging you to stand.
I'll stand and look at what it is.
You look down from your hands to the face, and you see Mahara. She squeezes them tightly, like she did the night that you fled. And she smiles upon you.
What's happening?
She looks around, and back to you. And she laughs. She laughs fully. Laughs like when you were children, playing games, hide and seek, arguing whoever is the older of the two of you. And you know you're the older one by several minutes.
Of course.
And she squeezes your hands once again, sort of shaking them. Zen, dear, you have to let me go.
Can't. We're supposed to all together, two old biddies.
She takes your hands and brings them to her lips and kisses them warmly. I've gone somewhere you can't go, dear. You'll never be able to come here. You have to understand that. You're just haunting yourself. You have to let me go.
Tell me where you are. It's not just me. I can find you. I will find you.
She drops your hands from her lips and finally she nods. In what was inky blackness around you, you suddenly feel stone pressed up against your feet, lifting you into the air, the two of you together. And the whole scene just seems to melt into existence. Like smoke, it spreads. And what you see below you are just deep chasms. The length of which are incomprehensible. And other sort of more floating islands of stone and just acrid clouds of greens and browns filling the air, and around them winged creatures circling, screeching, and it's almost maddening to hear it. She puts a finger under your chin and lifts your face. San, you can't come here. You can't come here. Not if you want to help your friends. And she's gone.
Damn it, sorry, back.
It's okay. What did you last hear? Or did she freeze again already?
Nope, I'm back. Okay,
Alright.
sorry about that.
They're fine. What did you last hear?
I last heard I could not go there.
She says that you can't come here, not if you want to help your friends. You have to let me go, Zan. There's no other choice. He's not going
There's
to
always
allow
another
it.
choice.
No, dear, he's not going
Who's
to
not
allow
going
it.
to allow it?
In your hand, you feel almost a similar feeling when you use your magics. The power sort of reverberating through your whole frame. She lifts your hand. That's sort of this glowing, radiant energy. She shakes your hand at you almost. This is what you need to help your friends. And if you come here, he's not going to give it to you any longer. You have to understand this.
Who is he? My patron?
She nods slowly. He's here. He's not going to let me go.
What? He has you?
She sort of looks off to the side, staring long into the distance. I guess we both paid a price for this, did we not?
Oh.
She looks back to you once more. Xanthus, you're just a tool. Don't you understand that?
For you. I don't care what it takes.
She sighs. Once again, her eyes look off to the side, to the horizon. He won't be happy with your choice.
He can kiss my ass.
She takes her finger and slowly turns your face in the direction she's looking. And far, far off, on some rocky-looking hill, you see a massive creature. At its foot, a white tiger lays. At its reptilian feet, this white tiger lays, and you see it strung back with long, tentacly arms, and you see two faces staring at you, growling and hissing, two ape-like faces with long fangs growling upon you, seeing your visage, hearing your words, and you can feel the anger radiating from that point to where you're standing, and it shakes you to your core.
I grab Haha's hand.
She squeezes back.
You fucking heard me. I'm coming for her.
You see the figure suddenly start to swarm closer to you at an impossible speed. Mahara looks upon you one last time, leaning up to kiss your cheek. I love you, sister.
It's gonna be fine. I promised you. It's gonna be fine.
I'll wait for you.
I'm coming.
She buries her face against you. You can feel the tears wetting your robe. And you two hold each other as a monstrous figure descends upon the both of you. And you wait to be rendered asunder.
Just stare it in its fucking 4 eyes. Motherfucker.
And as the two gaping mouths come closer and closer, the blackness overtakes the scene. Go.
Oh, it's my turn, is it?
It's your turn. You're just a small boy on the streets of Hardy. And your feet are pressed against the stones of a street you've probably walked many times, pickpocketing many, many folks who've decided to foolishly stumble this far into the town itself. You don't recognize the house so much, but you watch a woman draw forth from it, looking a little worse for wear, her body covered in bruises. But her eyes, by the gods, her eyes just, they remind you of you. Looking closer upon her, you can see her belly too is swollen with child. She begins to walk down the street from you. What do you do?
I'll follow, but at a distance.
Okay. You begin to follow. Twisting, turning, moving down alleys and streets and side roads, till finally you've wandered outside the limits of the city itself, and you find yourself following her into a small cave set against the hillside, flanked in trees, and from these trees, trinkets of all sorts made of bone and ribbon and other dried entrails, just monstrous creations, perhaps warnings, you're unsure. She moves inside the cave. Do you follow her in?
No, I think I would try and kind of circle around so I can get a view in from outside without being seen, but I would go in.
So you move closer to the entrance to the cave and do your best to keep to the shadows, staring inside. And you see this woman. And you see another figure. This grizzled, hunched over creature with hair like tree branches, just thick and stern against the sides of her head. Her cheeks are swollen and shrunk in. Flaps of flesh coursing across her body. She hands the woman a vial filled with this golden liquid. Just dropping it into her hand from these black taloned fingers, just caked in dirt and blood. And there's a stench. God, there's a stench from inside this cave. It's of rot. Not necessarily flesh, but of vegetation or who knows. The woman presses the vial against her chest, then lowers one hand to her stomach. Sighs. Takes the contents and quaffs them. And moves from the cave back in your direction.
I don't want her to see me.
So you step to the side, keeping to the brush. And she moves past you. She stops for only an instant as she bends over in pain. Seems to clench at her waist, bending over. And you can see a little trail of blood just inking the corner of her lips, dripping down from her flesh and sizzling as it touches the ground. She steels herself, stands up straight, and proceeds on. You following her once more.
Yeah.
She pushes through the tree lines, and in turn you follow. And once you clear the line of the brush, you don't see more brush beyond it, but it's feels as if you're back on the streets of the city once more, stepping from it. Night has fallen. And you see the doorway once more ahead of you. And you see the woman pressing the door open. She seems to be in severe pain. And you can only tell just by the little bit of lighting that's inside that room that the front of her body is stained red crimson. And in her basket in front of her she carries some parcel, unsure what, and begins to move from the doorway down the street once more.
Does she leave the door open?
She does.
What's in there?
You quietly move over and take a look inside, and you see a very quaint little hovel. There's a bed that's riddled through with just thick stains of red blood just soaked through it. You can see lines where she's walked and her feet equally carrying bloody marks. Otherwise, it's a simple little hovel.
Well, I'll kind of head up the street, follow her, still at a distance.
Okay. You make your way behind her, finally, and you turn a corner you've turned many, many times in your lifetime. And you see her laying a basket in front of the steps of a door, in front of a temple. But you know this temple, right? You grew up in this temple. She leaves and deposits the basket there. Standing up straight once more, taking a deep sigh, as you can see the blood just running down her body, down her legs even. She does her best to pull herself from the scene, walking back in the direction that she had originally come from, leaving only a basket in front of a door with 2 bloody handprints for the handles.
Does anyone come?
You wait. And finally the door does open. And you see a familiar face lean down, looks down into the basket with a sigh, draws back these cloth from this bundle, looking inside of it, and he lifts it up, and what you see is a child, a baby, tiny, just smeared with blood. He presses his fingers to its forehead, and you can feel, even where you're at, you feel this as well. You feel warmth entering through your own forehead as this baby in turn has it enter his. This magic of healing that you know that your father was capable of doing. And suddenly there are cries and cries and cries as the baby gasps for air and returns back to this world. He cradles it against his chest, cradles you against his chest, and goes back into the church and closes the door. What do you do?
I'm gonna go and let myself in the same way I always go in, around the back.
Okay. So you go in, and you're used to all the boys, all the children that have been left behind by this society long ago. You know they're bad kids, but they mean well. And they're all sort of having their games. But you see the man from before wiping the blood off the baby, cleaning it up, and sort of holds you in front of him, just gently rocking you. Well, what are we going to call you?
Has Balduin, right? Has he noticed me? Like, can anyone see me? Is this real?
Nobody seems to really notice your passing.
I want to walk in and just, if he's not noticing me, I want to look down at the baby in his hands.
Okay. You look down upon yourself, as you were all those decades ago. Baldwin's a younger man now, but his eyes are the same. His smile is the same. Gold. Yeah. Good, strong name. He smiles, rests you in the crook of his arm, and just sort of cradles you. And you watch yourself fall asleep in what would become your father, essentially. And finally, he looks up to you. Looks you in the eyes. You were always a quiet baby. What the hell happened to that, huh?
Couldn't tell you.
He sort of scoots to one side and pats the bench next to him for you to sit down.
I'll go sit.
You sit next to him. Kind of odd seeing this man hold you and speak to you at the same time. Goal, are you happy?
I don't know what that means, Balduin.
Look, Goal, I raised you the best I could. I tried.
You did?
I tried, yeah. And I know you got into some trouble.
Nothing I couldn't get out of. You've been gone a long time.
I've been dead a long time, eh?
Mm.
Yeah.
What?
So why the seagull, huh? What's it about the sea? Never understood the types.
You don't walk the streets often, Balduin. They're tight. They're cramped. They trap you. There's no walls on the sea.
He nods. All I know from them types, they say that the sea is a fickle, fickle mistress.
The sea is a cunt.
But does she make you happy?
I don't know what that means.
Sort of takes one hand and just pats you on the leg. You know, the one thing that always made me happy, Goal, was my family. I know none of you kids were actually mine, but you were my family. That's very important to learn. Family ain't about who bears you. It's about the company you keep. Huh?
We did bury you.
Ah, you did. An old pine box, if I remember correctly, huh? Yeah. I guess for all your pickpocketing, you didn't have enough to buy all Aldo and a nice stone sarcophagus, did you?
No. No, we did not. Still got to eat.
Yeah. It's alright. You got some good friends, Cole.
I do.
Maybe they'll make you happier.
We'll see.
I know, you don't know what that means.
Working on it.
So I know life's shit on you a lot. It has on all of us, but... He sort of turns and looks to you in the eyes. Vengeance is no way to be living life, son.
It's a path. You need something to drive you, right?
He sort of smiles and runs his hand through his beard for a second and points at your chest and sort of taps it. Why can't you let that guide you from now on, huh?
Because it doesn't know what it wants.
He taps your sword, your rapier. But you know what that wants, yeah?
I do.
He stands and actually hands the baby over to you.
I hold it really awkwardly.
He laughs. You never did know how to handle yourself, huh?
Never.
He watches you fumble for a little bit longer, then finally takes the baby back into his arms. Says, "Come on, lad. Let's go get a drink, huh?"
Let's.
All right.
Never had a chance to get a drink with you.
And you never will. So you stand, and you and Alduin walk from the room. And into the inky blackness once more. Califrus, are you there?
Presumably.
Presumably. Califrus, when you open your eyes, you find yourself locked in this almost like tomb of ice. You don't feel the cold, you don't feel it numbing your fingers, you can feel everything. You can feel the pores of your skin, the little tiny hairs all over you. You can feel them, but you don't feel the coldness. But you're trapped, you're not moving, and this feeling of suffocation just takes hold of you. As you look beyond the ice itself, you see shadows of a couple figures just beyond your vision, but they go closer and closer. What you see are your mother and your father, but they're smiling at you, sort of reaching out towards you. And they draw closer, and you notice that both of them are actually just surrounded by these blue flames, burning hot. And you suddenly light up thinking, my salvation has come. And as they draw closer with their smiles, you can hear the ice sizzle and pop. You see the steam rise from it, but then all of a sudden, it goes out. The flames go dim. They look to each other, confused. your mother to your father. Disappointed looking. And next you realize it's not your mother and father, it's these two burnt husks of people. Nothing but ash and bone and what little meat that resides upon them. And the scream escapes your lips. You feel the ice around you begin to crack and crumble away from you. You look down and you see that your hands and feet are still bound within it, but you can feel the warmth of the room around you. You look up from your wrists and back up to the faces of your parents. They draw closer to you and you can see your father smiling. Well, what sort of mess have you gotten yourself into this time, Calaveras?
What the hell is this? And Cal just kind of like struggles against these bounds.
You struggle futilely. Your limbs don't seem to have much strength in them at this point. Not enough to break this. No, not this. And your father looks down upon you once more. As always, I've got to get you out of all the trouble, don't I?
Cal kind of like looks at him panically and is like, "No, I'm not in trouble. I can solve this. I can fix it."
Your mother sighs, sort of rolls her eyes and looks away from the scene. Your father stands next to you and crosses those burnt arms, looking down upon you. Oh, really? You're going to get yourself out of this, huh? Yeah, go for it. Go ahead.
Cal just continues to struggle just with all his might.
You struggle and struggle and struggle for what seems forever. Your father finally sighs and drops a hand to the top of the ice where your left arm is pinned, and the fire begins to burn once more. The top layer melting under his touch. So you sure you don't want some help?
Cal kind of keeps struggling on his own, but doesn't really know whether to accept the help or not.
Okay. So, while you struggle and struggle and struggle against all this, you see your mother come up to the other side of your body. Her too, her hand has caught flame and she's reaching down towards you. Now, Cal, dear, stop fighting and just let us help you.
But if I let you help me, it won't prove anything.
What do you have to prove, dear?
I don't know, that I could be on my own, that I don't need you.
She sort of shoots a hurt look over to your father. No, dear. He didn't mean that. He didn't mean that. You can see the tears sort of develop in the corner of the eyes of your mother as she sort of walks from the scene. And your father looks down upon you with a disappointed look. And why'd you have to go and say that for, huh?
Cal kind of calls after his mother and is like, Mom, wait, I didn't mean it like that.
Your mother turns and walks and walks. vanishing from view. Father returns his gaze to you, a deep sigh escaping his lips. Cal, why did you not just stay in the college? Huh.
I had to show them. Nobody believed in me.
Look, you're not going to make a life out of this. And he sort of puts his hands to the side, and you can feel he's gesturing toward the instruments that you carry. This is not what we raised you for. You've got a good life ahead of you. Why are you throwing it away like this?
I've got a good life ahead of me? Sitting and fixing jewelry all day? I'd rather go on adventures and have friends and not stare at a diamond for 3 hours.
Diamonds can buy all the friends you need, Cal. Did you know that?
You don't get it.
He looks away, confused. And then he grabs your arm, and the fire begins to burn. The ice melting away from your hand, but also the flesh melting from your arm. It burns. Searing pain just driving up your body. And you can see the anger boiling in his eyes. He starts to wrench you up from the ice itself. You can feel your body like beginning to strain. The flesh, the elasticity of your flesh threatening to snap. As he drags you, pulls at you. What do you do?
Cal panics
Cal
and is just yelling and resisting.
You're finally shaking, and so much anger and fear has built up within you. You feel your right arm free itself, and you just smack him across the face, pushing him off of you, lifting up this burnt remnant of an arm that you have. And you look up. The ice has melted away. The darkness has melted away. And before you see the family house, with its richness, its thick tapestries, gold inlay, a wealthy home. But is it a happy home?
Hardly.
You look upon it longer, contemplating the meaning of that. You hear an explosion of glass shattering from the upstairs, trailing with fire itself. And the entire place instantly catches. And you hear the screams of your parents deep inside of it. And you look down upon yourself, and in your right hand, a flask of oil, and in your other, a torch burning hot.
Cal drops them and starts running towards the house.
They scatter against the ground, and you run into the house, and it's full of this black, inky smoke. It's terrible to try to breathe in. And you look and look, searching through burning rooms for what might remain of your parents, finding only two burned husks huddled together, cradling one another in their last moments of terror.
Cal just falls to his knees and starts sobbing uncontrollably, unconsolably.
You fall to your knees, burying your face in your hands, letting the tears come. And you look up, finally. And there's no burning, there are no corpses. What you see is a horizon stretching in all directions. And two eyes piercing that horizon, looking down upon you. Stand up, Kyle. A voice beckons.
Who's there?
The eyes draw closer and closer still, tearing from the sky itself and finally implanting themselves into a figure of large proportions. He's decked out in this long red tabard. And upon his chest you see a cross which is encircled with two circles. You get this long blonde beard and goatee mustache. He lowers this gauntleted hand towards you. Come on. It's time to get up.
Cal takes his hand.
You grip the hand, and he pulls you up. And you get the feeling of there is serenity here. Much like the serenity you felt when you were in the church at Hamlet.
Hmm. Cal asks. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh. What is this place? What's happening? Where am I?
Sort of turns and looks with a smile on his face. Yeah, it's my home. But turns and looks back to you. Looks like you're in a bit of a pickle, huh?
Yeah, it seems so.
Just got one question for you, Caliphus. Why do you keep coming to my altar to pray?
Well, I guess you could say that I know that I'm just one man, but with help from some sort of divine being, I could be more than that. If I could just harness the powers of the gods, I could be so much more powerful than I am. And then people will see.
He smiles. Can I tell you a little secret, Cal?
Cal nods.
He lifts that gauntleted hand and sort of pokes you in the chest. Not hard, but you have all the power you need.
Oh, what do you mean?
You see, our types wouldn't exist without people like you. Indeed, it's not us that are powerful, but it is you who are powerful.
Cal gives him another nod of somewhat understanding.
I know you think you need the gods, Caliphus, but You got so much more going for you, lad. Who needs the gods when you've got friends like that, huh?
Yeah. My friends are pretty amazing.
As are you, Cal. As are you. And I think they need you. But there's something you need to let go of first,
Okay. Cal doesn't exactly know what he's talking about.
You feel the weight of a torch and a flask in your hand.
Hmm.
I think you're fighting for your acceptance.
Feel like I'm always fighting. I feel like if I don't fight, then what do I do?
Well, suppose that remains to be seen, huh? But you don't have anything to prove to anyone, Cal.
Cal sort of mulls this over for quite a while. And then looking at the flask and the torch, drops them one at a time. If you say so.
Well, I am a god. For what that's worth. I'm just not quite sure why you want to be one, that's all. Cal, we deal in absolutes. It's one thing that I admire you mortals for. If we know hatred, we know hatred without bound, and that's all we know. If we know vengeance without bound, that is all we know. But you, you Caliphus, you have a choice. And believe it or not, I'm a little jealous of that. Just a thought.
I'll take it to heart.
He looks across the horizon and you see it sort of explode with this spectrum of color. You'll still have my blessing, Cal. But I need you to do one thing for me.
And that is...
You need to go wake your friends up. They're in terrible, terrible danger.
Okay.
Puts that gauntlet on your shoulder. I'm proud of you, if it's any consolation.
Yeah. That is a lot of consolation.
So you see the image of Saint Cuthbert tag you on the shoulder and go wake up yourself. Before you realize it, you are descending through an empty sky, falling, 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 falling. Until, with a thud, you awaken. And it's your eyes that thud open as the water around you consumes you again.
So I'm under the water.
Under the water. You have no trouble breathing.
What?
And as you're looking around, your companions have no trouble breathing.
Okay, Cal starts waking them up one by one.
Okay. So you all have been awoken by Califrus, shaking you, each in turn, waking under the water's waves.
Where are we? Are we underwater?
You're on the floor of some great sea.
But we can breathe.
You can breathe.
And we can talk to each other. Right?
You can.
Okay.
Are Catlana and Rufus and Pebbles with us?
They are.
All right, guys. I know this is crazy, but we're in a lot of danger right now. I don't know what's out there, but we gotta solve this.
I mean, we're under miles of water, I'd say. It's not crazy to say we're in danger.
Any bright ideas?
I just want to look around. Do I see our capsized boat like 100 feet above us? I mean, what am I looking at here? All around me.
You look up, and it's just inky blackness. You know you're underwater, but you can't see the surface. There's no light here.
Can anybody cast light?
I can
In our
cast
group?
light. I'm gonna cast light.
Okay.
That
Do we
boy.
have? Oh wait, I have to touch something to cast light.
Take this trident.
Okay, I'll cast
Cast it
light
on the-
on Arthur's trident.
So a small beacon of light finally erupts in the blackness. And you're on a sandy floor of a sea, lake, whatever it is. And emptiness all around you. Just the figures of your companions.
What the hell just happened?
I don't know.
Catlana?
You see Kate Lana, and she's sort of looking down at her leg at the moment as she's sitting in the sand with a little bit of horror in her eyes. You can see where the flesh has this layer of slime almost on it, stuck to her skin, translucent. She can almost see her flesh through it. And I'm not talking about the flesh of her skin, but the meat of her leg.
What is that?
Oh, yeah. Arthur walks over and examines.
You go and examine it. And it's as I described. Seems whatever got a hold of her left its mark upon her.
Can we look at ourselves? Do we have any of this crap on us?
Gall, Zan, and Arthur, you all see similar marks upon your body. Might be your leg, it might be your arm, or maybe the side of your body, but something had gotten a hold of you at some point. We know this, but where it touched you, the flesh is translucent.
Does it hurt?
Can we feel it?
You place your fingers upon it, and it's like a membrane. Soft, spongy.
I'm gonna, scratch at it.
You scratch at it.
Stop.
Get this off me.
Stop.
When your fingers are digging, it's like you leave little trails of slime that stick to you. Stick to your fingers as you rake back and forth.
Arthur grabs Zan's arm that's scratching it.
Get it off me.
Zan, this may be more than we think in terms of how are we breathing right now? How are you breathing right now?
Yeah, I didn't want to ask that because I thought maybe if we asked that, it would stop.
Hmm.
This membrane that's attached, leave it for now.
But you said, but Cal doesn't have it?
Does Cal have it or not?
Cal doesn't seem to have it.
Oh, shoot.
Eh,
Then why doesn't Cal have it?
this I don't know.
Does Pebbles have it? I'm looking at Pebbles.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he does. As does Rufus.
To change anything now could be disaster. Leave it.
Cal's gonna just. Oh, no, I don't want to touch it. 'Cause I don't want to get it. What if I get it?
I have a plan. Something I've never told any of you guys. But my God has given me the ability to breathe underwater. If this is indeed some sort of conduit for the rest of you, let me be the one to find out. And Arthur will try to grab wherever his is and yank it off.
Okay. So you go to grab this membrane that's stuck to your flesh, and you begin to dig, pull at it. And you manage to pull it from you, leaving this trail of blood as it peels back. It's like peeling a layer of your own skin off of your arm, and it hurts. It is painful. But you do manage to pull it off, just leaving some exposed meat below it. Burns the salt in the water.
I'm gonna immediately heal myself and try to lay on of hands and do give me 5
Okay.
for any disease or anything like that, and stitch it up, so to speak.
Yeah, so you put your hand upon it and see the flesh and sinew begin to realign on your arm, reform.
And so you said there's no current, correct?
There
It's
is
just
none.
so when I pull this thing and I just kind of place it in the water, is it staying
It
still?
just sort of floats there.
And if and I'll look at Cal. Cal, is there any magical reason or any inherent reason that you can be underwater and not drown?
No. Not at all.
Indeed. So I ain't
Just take this shit off, then I'm taking it off. I'm grabbing my dagger and I'm just taking this shit off. Getting it off me as
Alright.
quickly as possible.
Arthur's gonna be ready that if this membrane is what is allowing the others to breathe for some reason, that I'm gonna throw that shit right back on them if they seem to drown or whatnot.
I can hold my breath as long as possible. I'm fine. I'm getting this off me.
Okay. You take 2 points of damage as you peel this thing off of you, Zan.
Cool.
Are you trying to breathe?
I'll heal my.
Or not tempting it?
Not tempting it. Gonna hold my breath.
Okay.
But I'll heal myself a dice.
How long can you hold your breath?
Active.
Indefinitely.
Well, she's a water genasi. She can hold as long as she wants to.
Genasi. So yes.
Right,
My
genasi.
breath.
Now
is-
I'm gonna walk over to Gull.
I'm leaving this on. I'm not into self-mutilation, Arthur. It'll scab, it'll fall off, it'll be fine.
Well, I do think that's the right choice for now.
It doesn't hurt, does it, Sev?
No, doesn't
No,
hurt.
it's
I'm gonna go over to Cal
fine.
and just in bewilderment, just kind of look up and down, kind of walk around and examine and just kind of take note that there really isn't any of those membranes on Cal.
Cal kind of lifts his arms, being like, "No, nothing here."
First me.
The one that Arthur left floating,
Mhm.
I just want to, with gently, not like a stab, but with the tip of my rapier, I just want to poke it,
Okay.
see what happens.
You poke it, and it's just like poking a piece of trash. Nothing happens.
You don't feel that? No?
No.
Okay.
And Arthur, as you're circling Caliphus, looking at his frame, I don't even need you to really empower yourself. Your divine, channel divinity just pops in, and you can feel like a divine essence radiating from Caliphus.
I'm gonna nod and turn and walk away.
Okay.
So, what now? We don't know which way we were headed. Can I swim? Can I start swimming up?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you're gonna swim up towards the surface of the water.
Quick question: because I have my ring of water walking, if I just lift a foot and go to put it down, am I gonna just start like hiking
Pop
up?
D&D physics. Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, is it like one step at a time, or do I have to be on the surface?
I don't think they cover this in DM school.
Oh no!
This is an AP class in D&D right here.
God.
Yeah.
Gosh, what would that
That's
do?
Good question.
That's a very good
Yeah.
question.
It says
What
you
was the
can
question?
stand on and move across any liquid surface as if it was solid ground.
Hmm.
And if you're surrounded in the liquid,
Would you just shoot to the top like a missile?
yeah.
Oh no! Cal goes flying.
Ooh.
Throttle solution and ready tubes 1 and 3. We're firing Cal.
I'm going to assume it'd be like a buoy almost, where you would begin floating
Yeah.
to the surface.
I can levitate.
And we're in water, we can swim.
How long? Wait, back up. How long have you been able to levitate?
It's something just was a kid
Okay.
gave me books of fright.
Yeah, I think we need to get our bearings topside.
I'm
Mhm.
swimming.
Yeah.
I guess we're swimming.
Yeah, maybe the boat's up there.
So whoever chooses to swim starts to swim. Caliphus, I guess, just starts to shoot up from the from the floor.
You're right.
Well, Arthur, give me an insight check, please.
Indeed, sir. My insight, let's see. I do believe is plus. Let's see. Let me pull up. Where'd my character go? Let's find him. There he is. Insight for Arthur is a +8. So that is going to be a 19.
Okay. Arthur, as you all begin to take to the surface, towards the surface of the water, your eyes instantly shoot over. I will say it's to your right, technically, the east, we'll call it. And you see a shape, large, moving in the water. And it wouldn't have caught you that you would have seen it with perceptively, but you feel it bearing down upon you.
Stop. Prepare yourselves.
You guys ready to switch maps?
Something this way coming.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Ready yourselves.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
All right.
Ah!
And I will, before it happens or whatever happens, I'm going to cast Sacred Weapon
Okay.
on my trident.
What the fuck did I miss?
So about 70 feet off to the east, we'll call it, Arthur, you catch this large form. It's at least 20 feet long, snake-like almost in appearance, massively round,
Ooh.
large tentacles trailing behind it. And it is heading right in your direction, Arthur.
No!
So yeah, so I cast Sacred Weapon. That's going to emit a 20-foot light in every direction, and it gives me now a +3 to attack rolls. So
Nice.
I basically just get ready. I turn, face my shield, my trident's out, and I'm waiting.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? I'm assuming you probably told them that you saw this.
You know, that's what I said. I said,
So,
prepare yourselves.
I mean, the only thing
Oh,
I
I'm
can do
going
is draw
right
my
at
sword.
Okay.
I'm gonna go right at it if this thing is gonna. If it looks like it wants to, beat us up, then I'm just gonna go at it.
Arthur, when you look at it, it looks like it's just shooting right towards your direction.
Well, fuck him then. Let's go. I'm gonna swim like Aquaman and stick that trident in his ass.
Okay. So you kick off
Like a
the
bullet.
ground.
Yep.
You kick off the
Let's
ground,
go.
leaving this pile of sand floating in the water behind you. And you rear back this trident, kicking against what would have been current, I shouldn't say, but doesn't have any current, but kicking through the water. And you come face to face, with a creature, 3 large bulbous orbs for eyes staring at you.
Staring right back at its own eyes on my shield, bitch.
And you know, Arthur, for once, finally, after all these years, from your childhood to this point, you finally are going to meet the one that's haunted you for so long. And it's waiting for you.
I am in a fervor. It's almost, if I was a barbarian, I'd be a berserker right now, because I'm just gonna, with absolute rage and impunity, attack this thing. I do not care if I die in this fight.
Okay. All right, so the two are going to
Your
go...
3 companions do!
Yeah. We're going to have a large clash as this large creature, this sleepless evil, begins tearing towards the equally powerful force of Arthur. And as the two are about to collide, we are going to have to end it because I know Arthur has to leave here very shortly. So, so next week.
This is gonna be
continue on
good.
with some initiative.
This is about to get fucking amazing.
Yes. So, you guys know next week or have something to contend with, and it's gonna be underwater.
Yeah, these are my favorite monster.
Oh gosh.
What?
Chris knows what it is.
I know exactly what it is.
I know
Weird.
exactly what it
It's
is!
gonna fucking suck.
I don't know what it is. I
Me
just saw
neither.
what the chat typed though, so now I'm looking this shit up.
Yeah, that was me that typed that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna get good.
Oh, yep. Chris
Ooh.
called it.
Now look at you, Sal.
Yeah.
Now I see. Oh my
Okay.
god. This.
So-
Holy shit.
My door
Why
just
did I
opened
swim
by
at it?
itself.
Why did I swim? So fuck him. I want to kick his ass.
Dude, the second you mentioned that mucus, I was like, aboleth, aboleth, aboleth.
All right,
Oh
guys.
no.
So, I guess we're going to call it here for this evening. So we'll just go around real quick, tell people who you are, where we can find you at. Got anything going on? I think we had an order established for this, so let's just go in that order.
All right. Hey, everyone, thank you for coming and watching today. I hope you enjoyed the deep backstory dive. And what an amazing day. Again, my name's Kevin Hitt. You can find me on Twitter at Kevin_Hitt. And hopefully you can read about all the esports and D&D that goes on at vpesports.com. And a shout out to Asus for powering my rig. Anyways, I'm super excited, and I can't wait to either have my ass beat or do some ass beating next week.
I mean, they both sound fun to me, but
Yeah. Oh, we've lost Sid.
ah. We'll shoot past her and we'll go right to MK then.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm MK. God, we've done this for so many weeks, I've already forgotten what to do. I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/MK is the best. That's where you can find me. I also have my @MusicCombat. That's my Twitter, right underneath my little portrait. So, yeah, if you guys want to see me stream or anything, that's where you can find me.
Technically, we're all Greek Sid right now, so I guess
Yeah.
we'll look for you there. How about you, Chris?
Hello, I'm Chris. That was awesome. I can't wait to fight this fucking thing next week. It's going to be great. Yeah, Seb knows. You can find me on Twitter at Pangalactic. I run a D&D resources website called Loot the Room. You can find that at loottheroom.uk. You can buy a sweet t-shirt if you go to my Twitch channel,
Yeah, hell yeah.
which I am going to start streaming again in January. And I just released a new book on the DMs Guild, Trinkets 3, the third one, which has got 50 new trinkets for your game in it. Go pick that up if you get to Copper Bestseller. It's going to get updated with adventure hooks, and the ultimate goal is to be able to get some dope art by Samantha Darcy. So go buy a copy and help that happen. It's $1 you can afford.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
You have to unleash that tome of useless trinkets that we came up with a long time ago.
right. Trinkets are like my brand. We'll get that happening. Hey, Sid's back.
Welcome back.
Heck,
You made it just in time to go ahead and give your little
fuck
spiel.
my internet. Anyway, hi. I am Christina Sid at Greek Sid on Twitter. Sev, you're and physically, it's gonna be great. Am I back? My internet is being so stupid today. I
Go, go,
apologize.
go.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I will be starting next Friday. I will be on this channel doing the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh with Will DM. That's on Fridays, 7 Mountain Time, so that's 8 Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. Excited. Nice. It's gonna be dope. Super excited. So
Awesome.
see you
Good for you.
Yay!
That's awesome.
Yay! Very excited.
Anybody to shout out this week?
Sure. Why not?
Tradition. So.
At this point, right? Let's see. I hadn't prepared it because I actually had something to talk about this time.
I'm
Yay!
sorry. God, I'm a terrible person.
Put me on the goddamn spot.
Somebody say a
I'm gonna
dead
do
baby
this
joke.
at random. Yeah, someone said a dead baby joke. Quick, do it.
Don't tempt me.
You know what? I've been meaning to do this. Who knows Mr. E on Twitter? Ethan Schoonover. He's out in he's out in Seattle, I believe, and he runs a bunch of very, very amazing after-school programs for girls to play D&D.
Awesome.
Very cool.
He has a bunch of recommendations for running games for kids. And overall, let's get more ladies in the game. Let's be more representative of people that are actually in the gaming community. He's super dope. He is at Ethan Schoonover, SCHOONOVER. Ethan Schoonover.
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. I love anything that. What words am I looking for? Words are fucking hard, man. I don't know how I do this job.
Words are tough.
God,
You got the
are tough.
best words. You got the best
That's
words,
what I
man.
do for a living is word.
it's like
Word.
even I hate 4E, but it got so many people into D&D that I can't hate it entirely. So it's
True.
I'm for anything that
Never-
really,
Never bought any 4E stuff. Not one single item.
But if it gets you into the hobby, then I'm all for it. Especially for people who haven't had the chance to, or might have felt gatekeeped against, or whatever. I'm happy for things like the person that you mentioned to allow that to. So
Yeah, I just followed him. Yep.
awesome. So I guess I've been Saverick, or I am Saverick, one of the two. I've been your dungeon master though. You can find me here every Saturday, or you can find me on my own channel Sundays at 8:30 p.m. for Fallout 5e. Next month I will be DMing Birthright.
Yay!
I'm so excited for that to happen. But I'll let you all know what's going on with that. And here very soon, I'm hoping the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'll probably be running a Paranoia one-shot just for fun, because I love Paranoia.
Yeah.
So, otherwise, go check out the people on this channel. The cast and crew, check out the other shows. I know we're starting a new season, so definitely go check them out, because they're all awesome people, very supportive people. Give them a follow, because they are all worthy and deserving of the attention. And if you feel like it, you can come follow me too. I'm here. I'll talk to you.
All set.
So, otherwise, thanks for all the bits. Thanks for all the interaction today. I'm so happy to see all the people show up. I hope you come back next week, and I'll try not to fuck it up again. So, next week we're going to have a battle with an aboleth. So, I hope everybody's going to be excited for this. And we'll see who lives, because people may die.
Not this guy.
So, see us back next
Arthur
Saturday.
gives no fucks.
And we will we'll continue the story. And all right, guys, are we waving? Are we middle fingering, saluting?
We're both. We're doing both.
All three.
I gotta
Both at the same time.
I have to have a free hand, so I can't do both. So
That's what she said.
we will see you all.
I was doing my Benny Hill.
We started as we ended it. Perfect.
I guess
Bring it back around.
I always remember shit before we're getting ready to say goodbye, and I don't know why I do this.
We could do our Tourette's ending.
No.
Oh, no!
Sorry.
Just kill it, Sam.
But the feet.
Yeah.
I want to say this.
Before
On the 22nd, right? We're going to do like a little holiday episode. I think we've decided that.
Oh yeah.
So it might not be in
gonna
the
be fun.
it won't be in the continuity. I mean, it'll have happened, but it won't be in the current continuity of the campaign. But we're hoping to maybe give some stuff away, because giving back makes us feel good. So
Absolutely.
for everything that you guys give to us, we want to give back to you. So we'll let you know what's going on with that. Now we can say goodbye.
Excellent.
So we'll see you next week, guys. Appreciate it. Love you.
Thanks,
Goodbye.
everyone.
Goodbye.